We are giving the gift of boundaries for Christmas. Do you struggle to allow people to cross your boundaries? Or are you maybe the boundary crosser? Ooh, let me offer you a gift, whichever side you may be on. You do you, boo. Stop worrying about everyone else and focus on who Jesus needs you to be this year. So grab your notebook and let's dive in.
Hey, sister, welcome to Her Weight Loss Mindset. Are you sick of trying diet after diet and not losing weight? Do you wish you could find easy meal prep ideas for your family so you're not standing in the kitchen yet again wondering what everyone is going to eat for dinner that's in line with your goals? Do you spend hours Googling easy workouts but then have no time to do them because your motivation only goes so far? Hey there, friend. I'm Lindy Slaybaugh, Christian fitness and nutrition coach, encourager, and friend. I gained 100 pounds in my late 20s and struggled for years to get it off. 7 years ago, I found a basic system that works and has helped me lose over 90 of those pounds. I've been working with women in online fitness and nutrition ever since. In this podcast, I'll teach you how to lose weight in a way that honors God without obsessing about the scale, and meal plan and prep for your family, and follow a macro-based plan that allows you to eat the foods you love while you reach your goals. It's time to give God your health journey and watch Him make you new from the inside out. You've got this, sister. Now go grab your pre-workout or your third coffee like me, and let's chat.
A biblical weight loss framework is launching January 6th. I am so excited. If you are ready to give yourself the gift of biblical weight loss this year, click the link in the show notes to join us. It is my 90-day group coaching program that is going to offer you tangible, tactical steps that you can use to apply to your life every day to reach your God-given weight loss goals. So let's talk about boundaries. Oh man, ooh, this is a tricky one. I think my biggest struggle for boundaries has always been with my grandmother. I love my grandmother. We've talked about the fact that she is a trigger for me. Her house is a trigger for me. Growing up, I spent a lot of time with her. My mom worked 2 jobs after my parents divorced, and I was with them a lot. And it was always, treats. If we're doing something fun, we're going to eat food. If we're sad, we're going to eat food. Even to this day, like it's always just about food. Anytime someone's coming, like it's like a food frenzy. And I have to emotionally and mentally prepare myself to go to her house sometimes because I'm like, okay, you don't need anything to eat. You've said that you're not eating sugar. And, sometimes I walk in there and it's like a sugar explosion and I flail on all of my convictions and the goals that I have set. And so I really want to encourage you today, as coming from someone who has gained 100 pounds and lost over 90 of them, it's really important that you ask God to give you the strength to live out your convictions, regardless of the shame that you get from other people, because you're on His path. We are operating on His path and no one else's. Okay. So I want you to make sure that as you walk into this Christmas season, the next few days, that you have a plan. And no matter what cranky Aunt Sally, who always pokes at your muffin top or makes, complaints about how skinny you are, ask God to give you a word to speak or how to keep your mouth quiet, depending on the situation and who you are, because sometimes we just have to bless and release. Sometimes it's okay to say, you know what, that really doesn't make me feel good on the inside. I would really appreciate it if you could just love me as I am. It's okay to set those boundaries with yourself. I don't care if you're 25 years old, 15 years old, 5 years old, or 70 years old. You are allowed to establish new boundaries if you are working towards your God-given goals and He is calling you to live and eat and move in a certain way. That's between you and Jesus. Okay. Nobody else gets a vote. All right. When I've had times when people worry about what I'm eating. And I simply just ask them, why do you care what I'm eating? Do I look hungry to you? Like usually I'm eating literally like more than everyone anywhere we go. I eat twice as much as my husband does because I eat on a macro-based plan. I eat twice as much as any of my friends do when we go out to dinner. I eat twice as much at a family gathering just because I have to hit my macros every day. I eat a lot of food. So usually it's me having to say, why are you worried about what I'm eating? Like, that's okay to say, because why is someone worried about what you're eating? I am not underweight by any means. So just understand that you're not the actual issue here. Okay. If you are working towards a goal and you've lost 10 pounds, and someone makes a snarky comment, it's probably because they've been trying to lose 10 pounds for a really long time and you've accomplished a goal that they've not been able to accomplish. So let's just bless and release, pray that they can have the strength to operate on conviction and just let it go. Sometimes it's just not worth responding to. So this is also another struggle that I face. Maybe you need to set a boundary with yourself. Sometimes we get so set on no carb, no sugar, no fat that we don't allow ourselves to live our lives. I lived in this state for about 18 months. And it was a really lonely place to be. I was avoiding going out to dinner with friends because I had reached this quote unquote weight loss goal. Weight loss goals aren't biblical, by the way. And I didn't want to sacrifice that. My weight was more important than my community, and that is not healthy. So maybe that looks different for you. Maybe you need to learn to enjoy a treat without shame or self-sabotage. Maybe you learn to enjoy a treat that's one cookie and not all the cookies. Maybe you need to be fasting or not eating sugar or maybe drinking alcohol or something that's pulling you away from God. I don't really know what your specific case is, but I know that learning to discern the Holy Spirit here is going to be key to setting healthy boundaries. And that is going to be the best gift that you ever give yourself this year or in 50 years for the rest of your life. Allowing yourself to set boundaries with you within your own personal life will help you establish boundaries as you work with the tricky people in your life who always have an opinion about what you're eating or your body. Okay. It's never too late. It's never, ever, ever too late. So the definition of a boundary is a limit of a subject or sphere of activity. So there's a limit to how others are allowed to treat you and talk to you. You are God's child, first and foremost. So we're walking in the power of that truth today. We're not walking in the power of someone's unwelcomed opinions of your life, your body, and your newfound eating plan. If you are on a new path, especially this time of year when everyone else just wants to throw their goals to the window, but you're still trying to operate on a idea of balance and moderation, props to you. Props to you because we're not setting New Year's resolutions anymore. New Year's resolutions aren't biblical, okay? We should always be operating in Holy Spirit obedience. So props to you for trying this time of year to stay focused on what God is calling you to do, however that looks. Ask Him. Ask Him to lead you and guide you where He needs you to go, and then have the strength to walk in His power. Because I promise you, when Aunt Sally brings out your favorite cookies, it's going to be really hard to say no to those. I'm not saying you have to say no to those. If God has called you to conviction to limit sugar, maybe you have one, or maybe you don't have any. I don't know. You got to work that out with God. But figure out what it is that you actually need, not what your brain is telling you, but what you need through the power of the Holy Spirit, and then let that be your truth. I promise you, it is a much better way to live. So happy boundary setting this Christmas season. I cannot wait to hear from you how it's going. I want to wish you the merriest of Christmases. I will see you before the new year. If you decide that you want to join the Biblical Weight Loss Framework or you have any questions, you can always shoot me an email, lindyslaybaugh@gmail.com. You can find my contact info in the show notes. Jesus is the reason for every season. Wishing you the most blessed and merriest of Christmases.
Hey sweets, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and share it with a friend who may also want to lose weight without all the dieting and restriction? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It lights me up to know this podcast is helping you. Okay, it's time to go make a protein shake and get my sweat on. No more standing in the kitchen waiting for motivation to appear. I'll meet you back next week for another episode. Be blessed.